What's up, bro? So today we're going to do a battery relocation to the trunk on my Evo, and I'm going to show you a lot of the steps that other people do not cover in their videos. Quick overview of what we got here. So this is the DI Fab battery relocation kit, and this is the part that a lot of people don't cover in the video, where the ACD goes, the alternator goes, and etc. I'm going to cover that most definitely because it's the most important part of the video. We also got an anti-gravity battery, we got a battery tray for it, it's got riv nuts to hold it down. Let's get started. Before we start routing the wire, let's go ahead and get this terminal on one end of the cable. That way, we are not trying to do it while it's in the engine bay. All right, I reached out to Darren myself, and I was like, hey brother, we need to get some diagrams, some pictures, so I got that. This one right here on the left is for ACD. If you don't have ACD, you don't have to worry about this one. This one right here is the alternator. This 90-degree one here, right here, is the starter, and then the one that goes underneath it, the big one, is the one that goes to the fuse box, and they are controlled by this nut right here. On this setup over here, you will take this off, take this nut off. The big fuse box one that's under here goes on the under half here. It's kind of hard to show, I'll take it apart. Goes on the under half, under here. The starter, which is this one right here, this 90-degree one you can see, the starter one goes right here. The ACD one with the 90-degree tab goes right here, and we'll probably have to trim that tab on the side and bend it straight. And the alternator one, which is this one right here, goes all the way over here on the left. So you take this off right here, just like that, and the one from the fuse box, the biggest one on that old setup, goes right here. This goes on top, and the new power cable goes here. We'll start with the two on the bottom. This lower one is the fuse box one, and this one that was sitting right on top of it is the one that goes to the starter. Fuse box goes here like that. This goes on top. Damn, the starter's huge.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hello, stranger.
How are you?
I'm good. So I'm finally doing your battery relocation.
Yeah.
And I got those pictures, and those pictures are super helpful. But my starter, the one for the starter is really fat, and it's a little too, it's like way too fat for the starter location that you have in the picture, I think.
Oh, yeah. So I trimmed a little off of mine. Oh, you know what? I trimmed that little piece of plastic on the edge, too. That real thin piece.
Of your mount?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. That's what I'm seeing now. It's because you got to...
Yeah, so it looks like I trimmed mine, and I trimmed mine down a little bit, and then I trimmed that little tiny piece of plastic. That's what it looks like I did.
I think that's...
Bear in mind, I've had mine on here for, like, a long-ass time.
Yeah, it's all good.
The only reason I don't do it that way, I don't ship it that way, is because with how many people have ran through these friggin' cars,
yeah,
it's so hard to
know what exactly has been done to it or not. That makes sense. Yeah.
So,
as you can see, it helps to have access to people who build the actual products in the community. The Evo community is really, really small. So I have people who reach out to me for stuff, and everyone's always trying to help each other, and that's what this is all about. So let's go ahead and get this trimmed up. Alright, fuse box goes there. Just to keep this held in place. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to trim it like he said, but let's see if we don't have to. Nah, he's right. You gotta trim it to get it in there. Okay. As he said, we'll knock down this edge. The only glove I can find is the one with the fingers missing, but whatever. There we go. It's nice and snug. So I'm going to try and straighten these out a little bit, just not going too aggressive, just a little bit at a time. I know he said hit them with a torch, but I don't necessarily want to torch everything in here and possibly throw heat on stuff that doesn't need heat, like this old, like this stuff's already crusty, and I can feel this moving pretty decent as I straighten it out. It's fairly malleable, so it's not too bad. Okay, there we go. So I got them both straightened out. So reviewing back to the diagram that Darren sent me, alternator is the one on the right here, and ACD pump is the one on the left. And ACD pump has a little 90-degree tang off of it, so that is a clear indication that's ACD one. On the other half of our diagram here, so the alternator goes all the way to the left, and the ACD goes to the third one from the left. And also, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to trim down that tab on the ACD as well. So alternator goes to this one, all the way on the left. Now there's only one left, which is the ACD pump. Yep, and that's not going to fit in there like I thought, so we got to trim off this tab. It needs a little more trimming, actually. Yeah, so it needs a little more trimming on each corner of this thing. So we'll switch back to the other bit. Check the fit. Almost, just got to get that right corner, or that corner I was just working on. Okay, it should be trimmed down enough to fit in there, which it does. Go ahead, snug all these down. We can get our mount on there. So there it is. Everything's hooked up. Everything's trimmed down. Need to get the power one that runs to the battery, and we can start running the cable from the engine bay to the trunk. In the DI kit, it does provide 2 bolts and 2 nuts to mount this plate on. So now we're going to figure out the mapping of our power cable. It's going to come off here, and we're going to run it under here. And what I'm thinking is, I'm going to cut a hole right here. There is a grommet provided in the kit, and I'm going to run it right out here. As I state in all my videos, they call me the eyeball champ. Let's deburr this edge as well. Get our grommet in there. I ended up doing was pulling a bunch of slack to the front because DI Fab also offers a catch can kit that mounts right here as well, and this scoots over a little bit, so I wanted to give myself a little bit of slack if later on I decide to upgrade to his catch can mounted kit as well. So I've seen some other people poorly kind of run this part through the fender well. I'm going to be trying fitting like some 18x12 315s in this thing, so I need to get this cable out of the way as much as I can. So what I did is I took this, I pulled this down and opened it up, and we are going to see if we can stuff this in here alongside of it. Ugh. It's pretty tight in there, but it is in there. And just to make sure it doesn't pop out, got some Tessa electrical tape we'll throw on it. Now back here, we're going to feed it into the car underneath the dash and along the driver's side. Yeah, this part's going to be a real pain. Just pull that out. I'm not going to lie, this part is kicking my ass a little bit. These things are just so tough. I got an X in there now. Let's get a little soapy water on the end of this. There we go. Get that feeding in there. Pop that grommet back in. And it'll make it easier to feed this.
I got out of sync with the camera for a second, but you can see I got it tucked up here real clean and it is nice and out of the way.
Now obviously this is easier for me right now because I have the entire interior out because I was doing some weight reduction, removing all the sound deadening and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to zip tie it to this existing line under the, so what, if you were doing it, just peel back your carpet, take off this trim piece, take off this trim pieces, peel back your carpet, and I'm going to run it along and zip tie it. And even I'm going to go back here behind this seatbelt harness and zip tie it to this existing stuff. And then here in the car, I have it running behind this plastic piece. Along the door frame here. All zip tied up. Tucked under everything and running into the trunk. On this side, I'm not going to mount it on this side. I want to mount the battery on this side. One, to put the weight opposite of the driver to kind of help level out a little bit, but also because my ACD pump is going to be going here if I decide to relocate it, and the line I'm using, the old evap hard line, is under this fender right here. So the battery's going to go over here, and thankfully there is enough cable for it to reach over here as well, and maybe a little bit of trimming. I apologize, but this is the best angle you're going to get while I got clearance to work in the trunk with the camera. So I got my battery tray, and I'm going to line it up. And I got my marks for my rib nuts. So this is the Male box. Honestly, I forgot what it was called. I bought it off of a guy a while ago with the used anti-gravity battery. But it's a real quality box, and Darren from DI says it's a great box and he sells them on his website. And I will include a link down below if you want to pick one of these up. I got my spring-loaded center punch. And I can mark my drill holes. And center punching like this also helps the bit not walk. It's pretty thin sheet metal, so I started with a bigger bit. I definitely don't want to overshoot the rib nut and have it be kind of loose in there. So I got it kind of close, and I'm just going to be working my way up. That's pretty close. I can deburr the hole and knock them in. going to be a nice snug fit. For the people who are obsessive compulsive about rust, I am going to throw a dab of paint and I'm going to let that dry. That way to protect where I just drilled from any rusting, I'm going to hit it from the bottom side too. Here where I'm located at in Houston, I don't really have to worry about rust, but it doesn't hurt to do it. Nice. That is a real snug fit. That's what I like. God, this thing's a piece of shit. I've definitely used better rib nut guns. Alright, there we go. Definitely got a good bite that time. So the Male box did come with some rubber blocks for the bottom to help isolate vibrations in the battery, and it's got some foam. We got 4 screws holding it down. Okay, so the rubber blocks are on the bottom, and we got foam, the thick foam, 360 degrees around it. Might have peeled some of it a little bit, but it's in there. For the sake of completing the video, I will use these provided battery terminals, but I'm going to be switching these out to something a little bit more quality that I can, especially for the positive side, that I could hook other things to and like run a fuel pump off of and stuff like that. First we'll start with a clean cut. Work it around. And for now, I'm not going to trim this cable that he provided, and I'm going to run the full length. That way when I get my new terminals in, I can adjust as accordingly on this side. But I will put the terminal on this end. Slip my heat shrink on. Get this on. Get that set up in there. You really want your first hit to be nice and square on this thing. So I'm going to use this pre-existing bolt right here. It holds the washer fluid bottle in. Clean the surrounding area to bare metal. And the final step, we'll get the positive terminal on. And same thing, I'm going to leave this a little long. Just in case, I might want to add myself a 250 amp breaker or something, or if I want, also same for repositioning with the different terminals. Here's the battery installed and all wrapped up in the trunk, and I will get some 8L clamps to mount and run a cleaner line across the back of the trunk there and mount it down. Can't turn the engine on just yet because I still have a bunch of things to figure out before first startup, but let's go ahead and put key on and check all of our gauges and fan blower and stuff like that. Gauge has got power, dash has got power, fan blower's blowing, and the radio is going as well. That's good. The install is done and it turned out pretty damn clean, and I hope it helps you with your future install. Do me a favor, drop a like on the video, and if you want more videos like this, subscribe for future videos. And as always, stay boosted. Peace out.